to talk about really is something, and this is not my stuff. There's nothing particularly new in any kind of conversation or talk or presentation. It's all borrowed, and I don't have a problem with that. You know, you can plagiarise stuff and package it up how you feel fit and present it. But the key thing is probably tell people where you got it from. Yeah. Now I actually got this little set. I'm going to speak for about 5 minutes from a wonderful gentleman called Jim Rohn. Now Jim was a guru of the development world. He was a mentor, he was a trainer. Very pleased to say that Mark Hughes met him about 20 odd years ago at the infancy start of Herbalife, and Jim was associated with the company right up until his death a couple of years ago. But if you ever want to see an inspirational guy speak, fortunately you can't see him in the flesh now, but go and Google him, you know, and go and get his DVDs. He has a channel. Super guy. I mean, you know, I think he's attributed to making more multimillionaires in the world than anybody else. Okay, so his pearls of wisdom are worth looking at. Okay, and one of the things that got me, and I give you a tip, guys: work harder on yourself than you do with your customers. Okay, work harder on yourself. And what I mean by work hard on yourself, yes, we've got the inner work, and we've got the physical work, and we've got the nutritional work, but work on the development side of yourself. Do you know what amazes me? How many people do we speak to that go on about Man United, Man City, Baratelli, whatever he's called, David Beckham, and they're fascinated. They follow them, they follow the stats, they follow the studies, they read the papers, they're reading the back page of the Sun, and some other pages in the Sun, I do believe. But why work so hard on somebody that's an icon that you're probably never going to even meet? Why don't you spend that time working on the most important person in your world, you? So what I would stress you do is spend at least 30 minutes a day on yourself, personal development. And there's all kinds of personal development. There's the stuff that Gaz does and Al does. But what I do, I tend to find myself, not as much in Chester, I must confess, but in the car a lot. Now we can either listen to the radio and listen to all the blurb and negativity and bombs going off here and famine here and all the stuff with the politics and expenses rows and everything else, or we can hit that off button and we can put a CD in. And I actually use the driving time in my week to put a motivational CD. One of the ones I choose is Jim Rohn, and this is hence why I'm going to do a little 5 minutes on Jim Rohn, but there's a stack out there. So use 30 minutes a day for self-development, whether it's a good book, a development CD, a video, a Google, YouTube video. Develop yourself. You know, don't give some of these overpaid footballers the time of day. Forget about it. Okay. What I want to talk about is really your philosophy, of ratio of activity. Okay. Now what does that kind of mean? That very bold statement. If you do something long enough, a ratio appears. Okay. I'll say that again. If you do something long enough, a ratio appears. It's uncanny, you know, it's bizarre. And it's the ratio of activity. And when we're in this particular type of profession or building a business, we need to understand what I call mastery of our numbers. Yeah? We need to understand our ratios. So I'll give you an example, okay? You talk to 10 people and you get 1. You talk to another 10 people and you get another 1. You've now developed your starting ratio. Yeah? 10 to 1. Okay? And the funny thing about a ratio is when it starts, it tends to continue. Yeah? So you talk to 10, you get 1. Okay? Great thing about knowing your ratio is you can now actually compete. Because if I'm new and I talk to 10 and get 1, and you've been here a long time, Simon, you talk to 10 and get 9, we can have a competition. And if we had a 30-day competition, I would beat you. And you said, don't talk absolute rubbish. How, you know, he talks to 10 and gets 9, I talk to 10 and get 1. How could I possibly beat the legend that is Simon Donnelly? Well, it's very simple, because he talks to 10 and gets 9, I talk to 100 and get 10 in the 30 days. I win. Yeah. Now I'm glad that I win, because I actually win on one great part. I like to win, and I think competition is good in human life and human nature, but I also have the desire for Simon to lose. And the reason for that is you actually learn more when you lose. Yeah. So talk to 10, get 1. Talk to 10, get 1. Okay. And a little tip that Jim Rohn talks about is when you're new, and there's a lot of new people in this room, make up in numbers what you haven't yet got in skill. Okay? Make up in numbers what you haven't got in skill or knowledge. So you talk to 10, get 1. Talk to 10, get 1. Talk to 10, all of a sudden, get 2. Yeah. Now, why do you think that after a number of 10, 10, 10, 10, 10s, you suddenly get 2?
Because you're better, experienced.
Yeah. You're getting better. And who can get better? Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody can get better. So you talk to 10, get 2. Talk to 10, get 2. And then all of a sudden something really bizarre happens. You talk to the next 10 and you get... This is simple stuff. You know, it's great stuff. 3. Simon will tell you that 3 is enough out of 10. Okay? If you play baseball in the States and you bat 300, they pay you $10 million. Okay? You don't have to bat 1,000. Yeah? And in baseball terms, 300, 7 times out of 10 you're out. You're out of the game. And they pay you a contract of $10 million. So you don't have to bat 1,000. You don't have to bat 10 out of 10. One's wonderful. 2's terrific. 3 is where you need to be. 4, geniuses like Simon can probably do 4, but it's not needed. 3 is sufficient. Yeah. So 3 out of 10. And this is a great way, once you know your ratio and you're up to that level, of probably how you can go and talk and recruit to friends, family and colleagues. Because you can say to them, I've kind of got this little part-time thing going. You know, you may have seen I've got a new car and I've started going on holidays, but I've got this little part-time thing going. And I'm getting round about 3 out of 10 to join. Now, I don't mind if you come to the meeting on Tuesday night and be one of the 7. You'll be doing me a favour. Okay? But you need 10, because that's the way the numbers work. So this is a great way of, when you Alan, you talk to me a lot about how do I get started. My goal, when people say, well, how do you, they call me the chatty man in Chester, right? Because I talk to anything that moves, including the dogs. Yeah, okay, yeah, I've forgotten her name, but anyway. But I talk to anybody, and the reason being is because I have to interact to build my business, and incidentally, I was one off being the Manchester meeting. I was one off being the recruiting the most amount of supervisors. Ali Jagger got 8 and I got 7 in December. Okay, so I was one off winning the car. Yeah. You missed all that. Yes. Should have seen this lovely Mini all logoed up in a little presentation box. It was still nice. Yeah. Okay.
I like you.
Yeah. Okay. But I set myself a goal of. I don't even have to, I'll phrase my language, I don't even talk to 10 people a day, I interact with 10 people. Because in today's society, you know, especially with a younger crowd, they don't like having conversations, you know, they don't, I've got to talk to anybody, can you text me? Can you email me? Can you tweet me? Yeah? I'll let you a little clue of my 10 a day. Before I came here this morning, I'd already interacted with 4 new people. 2 of which are coming to a meeting in Nantwich on the 10th of February, which I'm sure Simon will mention. Now, one of those persons that I interacted with this morning was my wife, but I'd rather not go into that, so you're okay. But yeah, so interact, talk, tweet, email, text, 10 people a day, but it's got to be 10.